Before I touch the topic of AI agents, YouTube is telling me so many people watch my videos over and over and they do not hit that subscribe button. Please, if you're one of them, if you enjoy my content, you want to encourage me to keep going, please hit that subscribe button. It's just right there. It's free. Actually, it will get you all my videos when they drop. And now I can actually jump back to the topic. AI agents and 2025. So everyone claims this is the year of agents. And today, this is exactly what we're going to talk about. So in this video, what we're going to do is we're going to unpack what are AI agents exactly and why they matter in 2025 and what is the hype all about, what you should do with this knowledge today and what you should do with this knowledge going to the future. And also, if you all hang around till the end, I will show a couple of demos on how to build agents on two platforms just to give you that realistic sense of what is an agent in real life when you build it. And also the slide deck that I will use for this video and a comprehensive AI agents manual that I have prepared for this video as well will both be available when I publish this episode on my school community that you can join today for free. A community that is meant for people to collectively learn and grow together. So your contribution to that community is what matters the most. And if you're new to this channel, my name is Samer Haddad. I'm a corporate executive with a passion to artificial intelligence and a clear goal of helping as much as I can when it comes to people who want to grow and remain within the top 1% when it comes to artificial intelligence. And with this, do not forget to hit that subscribe button. I hope you enjoy the episode and let's get started.
Subscribe to Daddy's channel. The mic.
So again, I will go through the slide deck in a conversational manner. My intent is really to get you started in this world, to get you interested in this world. So I hope I can make it as interesting as humanly I can do. This is interesting for me, and I know for many geeks out there, this is super interesting, but not for everyone. But I think it's important for most people to get themselves familiar with AI agents going forward. So what are AI agents exactly? In many cases, this gets people confused. So onlookers, at least, maybe people far away from the field, not really involved in artificial intelligence, get confused because in many cases, you interact with these agents through a kind of a chat interface, something like ChatGPT itself, which by the way has agentic abilities itself. But what differentiates like artificial intelligence, large language models from a normal AI agent that we're trying to define here? Well, the way I would define them is that AI agents are basically autonomous large language models, meaning those are programs or systems that have the brains of artificial intelligence through large language models, but also are capable to do more than responding to you in text or even audio. They can actually run actions. They can actually do research. They can look into databases of information. They have memory. They can memorize things and reclaim that kind of memory to add context to whatever conversation you are having with it from previous conversations you already had. It's a system that can actually interact with the outer world, with different systems out there through API or other means. So if you look here at the AI agent and you have the human in a normal artificial intelligence, something like ChatGPT, large language model, well, this is as far as it goes. The human will send a message to the large language model. The model will respond based on its training. Obviously, today we have internet browsing, so it is doing some kind of agentic behavior of going to the internet and getting some answers from there and coming back. But that is interacting with the large language model in its most traditional sense. Now, when it comes to agents, it's a little bit different. So this is our agent here, and the human can interact with it. We're going to do that today at the end in the demo, and you can see it. But the difference is, this is the agent and it's a software. So the easiest way for you to imagine an agent, it's a software or a program. But that program has brains, it's smart. And what gives it that intelligence is this. It's a large language model, but it's a function or tool calling type of large language model, which we'll get into later on. What also that agent has? It has a memory here, so it can remember. So when you chat with it, it can be, by the way, context memory. So just the context of the conversation you're having at that time, or it can be long-term memory. So either short or long-term memory. Long-term memory will usually have things like vector stores, where data in any form goes through embeddings and then is stored as embeddings in a vector store. So that can be long-term, something through similarities the agent can go and find in the future based on what you are exchanging with it as a user. Also, it has tools. Tools are basically any task that an agent can actually run. So think of sending an email. Think of adding maybe a record to an Excel sheet or a Google sheet or an Airtable record or a database. Think of adding a note into Notion. So anything that could be a task that you run on an application that is open to be connected to another software through API or something else, this is a tool as far as the agent is involved. Also APIs here. And not to confuse things, API is differentiated from tools because there are other areas where you need API access to certain environments to either get pieces of information. It doesn't necessarily have to be actually a tool that you connect to the agent. You can connect it, for example, to a weather API, where the agent can send specific criterias to that API and get responses of the weather in a certain city. So that's something that feeds the agent with information that could help it articulate a certain answer to a certain question. Also, the agents, in many cases, can be connected to what is called a code interpreter, where if it needs to do something extra, it can actually generate certain code, run it, and use it as orchestration for something else. It could be as simple as doing minor calculations, because large language models are not good with math. But a code interpreter could get the agent to actually run a program using Python or whatever language the model decides to use, and then get an accurate answer. So that's where the code comes. Now here, someone might say, well, this is sounding like a chatbot. When I talk to some services out there, some chatbots I use, they give me some information. The major difference between an AI agent and a chatbot is the way they solve problems. A chatbot, in its typical sense that we are used to through either WhatsApp or even through websites that have these chatbots, those are scenario-specific response type of chatbots. So for example, let's say you go for your electricity company website and you want to check on your bill. You get, for example, 3 options: review the bill, pay your bill, and something else. And then based on the choices that you select, it will walk you step by step, usually a long kind of sequence, until you get the piece of information that you're looking for or perform a certain action. So that is not smart in essence. It is just a sequential interaction with that chatbot. It's not really intelligent or smart. Now, AI agents are different. AI agents go after certain goals by the user. So they look at that goal and they go after it to deliver to you what you are looking for based on the context of your request. So one of the things agents do is what they call react, which is reason and act when you give it the request. So let's put it now to the same example, but today you are dealing with an AI agent, not a chatbot. Someone goes to an AI agent for the electricity company you're dealing with, and you just say, I want to know my balance, and then I want to make a payment to cover that. Here, the AI agent will analyze your request, will reason through it, will make a plan on how to deliver that goal for you, the request that you are making, and then it will start acting. So first thing, probably it will run an API request to its own database and get your bill. And it will tell you, hey, by the way, this is the balance for your bill of electricity. And then it will understand also that you are looking to pay for that bill. And it might even go again for an API if you have your credit card information already securely stored for that company or with that company. Then it might give you a link to just confirm that you want to pay that bill. It will do these things for you. You don't need to go through steps. Everything will happen for you by the agent until the job is complete. If you're not satisfied, you can go and ask the agent again. So AI agents are autonomous. They are not chatbots. They operate by reasoning and trying to solve the end goal of the user. They have access to tools, memory, APIs, sometimes code interpreters, and their brains usually is a large language model. Now, this is a more detailed list of what we covered already when it comes to the components of an AI agent. I already covered all of it if you bared through that previous slide, and then maybe you want to dig deeper into each area of those later on. And I think each of them is unique and interesting. But just to recap quickly, Here we have the large language model, which we said is the brain, and we have access to tools. This is how the agent is able to run tasks for you, like sending an email. It has memory, short and long term. This is how the agent can remember conversations as they happen with the user, or even reference previous or past in conversations and data sources as it is having conversations with users. Also, it is able to do planning and what they call chaining, so it can reason, set a plan, and start taking actions on behalf of the user to achieve the goal that the user is asking for. Based on that planning, it can actually take action. So we already mentioned tools and tasks, but it can do things like call APIs, running code. So this is running the code here, querying a database, etc. So it can do so many things based on the plan that it created. And last but not least, it can do orchestration and governance. So this is how the AI agent goes about handling either errors or doing certain number of iterations for the same request. Does it need to do that? And why, and in what scenario, and when it should stop. All of these things are usually already embedded within the framework of the agent you are building. But for me, the more important one I want to highlight out of this slide is the orchestration. Now, the orchestration word is generic and it means two things. One, if you're dealing with agent sequences, so basically if there's a manager agent and then there are worker agents kind of structure, like things you see in Flowise. Orchestration is the ability of the manager agent to orchestrate different tasks to different worker agents, depending on how the user or the creator of that agent flow defined each worker agent. So for example, you have an agent who's an expert in summarizing plans and sending emails. A different agent is an agent that actually does strategy for whatever goal this flow is created. So that type of orchestration is usually part of that framework. Now, the second type of orchestration is the core type of orchestration that explains how can an agent actually activate a tool and run a task. It's a large language model. How does it actually do it? Well, it does it through an orchestrator. And an orchestrator is simply, it's an application that parses the output of the large language model that is running the agent. And it is specifically looking to parse code. So, for example, if you ask the agent to send an email, well, the agent can't really send an email. What the large language model that giving the agent that brain is trained to do, this is why there are models that are having function calling capabilities or tool usage capabilities. Those models are trained when it gets such a request based on the context or the information it has, probably from the system prompt, to actually put out certain code and certain characters that trigger through that orchestration system that runs the agent that this is a piece of code that needs to be parsed. This is in simple term. So the orchestrator, which is a program, it's an application that keeps looking at what the agent or the large language model that runs the agent is putting out, text or code. But when it sees certain type of code, it will capture it, parse it, and run it within that application, within that environment. When it runs it, actually it is running that tool or task. So it's running an API call, or it's running an actual application that is defined within that environment. This is how the orchestration enables an agent to actually call tools, make API calls, and so forth. Now, there's so many frameworks out there, and it can get confusing. And what I intend out of here is just to tell you those are out there. You do not need to know all of them. You do not need to work with all of them. Each of them is putting up something different. Either it has an advantage on certain areas over another, or some of them are unique for a certain provider, like OpenAI, for example. So, and there are more, by the way. I'll just quickly touch on those just for your knowledge, if you want to dig deeper into those. These are basically frameworks that make our life much easier when we build agents. So rather putting 1,000 lines of code to build an agent, if you're coding it, actually you can do that with 5 to 10 lines of code, literally because of these frameworks. Because what the framework does is covers so many lines of code that goes behind the scenes or happen behind the scenes because of the defined and developed framework by these either standard providers or AI model companies. So fundamentally, what you need to learn out of this, there are frameworks out there that make building agents easier and easier, and these are developing as we speak. So in no time, I believe that today, I think it's even, you can make that statement, everyone can build an agent. I think if you spend little time learning one of the frameworks out there or the tools, you can actually, using AI, code an agent or even build an agent with a no-code or low-code system. So let's look quickly at them. So LangChain is the first one we have, and LangChain is what I used a lot with Flowise. It's a robust framework that makes, through Flowise and similar tools, building agent flows something easy. And the agent flows that they provide through LangChain are comprehensive, having memory, tools, so many things. AutoGPT is one more. I've never used it. So this is goal-based agent that plans and execute tasks with minimal input. So one other framework. OpenAI and Google Agents SDK. So this is the software development kit by these two giants in artificial intelligence, large language model field. And what this SDK does is, rather than putting, as I said before, 1,000 lines of code to develop an OpenAI or Google agent, actually you can do that with up to only 10 lines, because the SDK will take care of the rest. You just install certain dependencies and then you use specific lines of code that are very easy to follow, that will generate and activate an agent for you based on these SDKs. Crew AI, Agent Ops, Baby AGI, and Hugging Face agents, all of these are also well-known standards or frameworks for building agents. And by the end, I added MCP and agent-to-agent protocols. Again, protocols are basically common means of communication between systems. What these do for agents is they enable agents to connect to a library of tools that can be defined only once, and you do not need to replicate it every time you build an agent. So for example, I keep building agents that send email, make posts on social media, and save pieces of information into a vector store. Every time I create an agent, maybe for a different use case, I do not need today to replicate and rebuild these tools, because I can create these tools, for example, on an MCP server. It is a concept that you can look into further, but I can build what is called an MCP server, and then every time I build an agent, simply I can connect that agent to that MCP server, and I have access to all of those tools at once without even defining them for the agent, because the agent using MCP protocol can talk to the server and learn from the server what tools it has and how to use them. So already the agent is enabled to use these tools on that server. The agent-to-agent protocol, also it's a new one by Google, and this is an agent that even allows agents to talk and collaborate with each other. And this is one of the crazy protocols out there. So imagine you have a marketing agent and you have a sales agent, and you want to build a system where both of them work together. Actually, through agent-to-agent protocol, it can happen in a much more seamless, smooth manner. And rather than building a really complex, heavy system, you can actually get two already built agents to talk and collaborate with each other in a sense through this agent-to-agent protocol. Industry use cases. This is an area where honestly, sky is the limit. At least it's an area we are exploring as we speak. If you search online, you're gonna find so many experts saying so many different things about where those agents will go, because the conversation around AI agents, the way I am defining it in this mini course, is purely towards the digital realm. So online, where you can go to a system and interact with an agent, or an interface and interact with an agent. Well, if you hear the CEO of NVIDIA and many others, they are pushing towards the physical world type of agents, which are already there, by the way, in things like self-driving cars, in things like robots that work in warehouses today or factories. Those are agents in the physical world, and those will open a whole new chapter of use cases for AI agents, and that's coming in the future. So I'm just here putting some example to help you think openly about AI agents and where they are going. But you have to do your own research, because this is a moving type of arena now, and there's no one that can give you clearly today where agents will operate and will not operate, so or how they will operate. So this is something that is evolving as we speak. But in life sciences, So in labs, having lab assistants that are actually AI agents, this is something highly possible. Actually, now I have done recently reviews on papers like Alpha Evolve by Google, and here you can actually have agents that help you in the research and development as a science lab or as a business. So healthcare in general. So you can have an AI agent, for example, helping a doctor diagnose or give potential diagnosis for certain symptoms or certain readings. Those are complex things, and yes, doctors are amazing in doing them, but it doesn't stop actually health institutes, for example, of giving these doctors an assistant to make things easier for them to maybe look after more patients more efficiently. So that's one thing. Obviously, there are more applications that, as we speak here, or as I talk about them, probably are coming to your mind. Energy and utility. So you can have smart grid supervisors, adjust controls, and dispatch crews in real time. So imagine that when you're talking to an agent, you have an issue, and there are people actually on the field fixing those errors with the network, humans usually. The agent will make it so efficient in how they plan their works that is being scheduled for them on the go in real time in a way that will get their efficiency to maybe double. So a crew of people or humans that are fixing issues in the grid today, let's say they can do 5 jobs a day, 5 complex jobs a day. Maybe an agent that is working between the users and this crew actually can get them to do 10 efficiently without really them being overwhelmed or exhausted of the extra work. So it's not efficiency for pushing them to do more. It's actually more efficiency in how the agent is planning their workday. And this is, again, one scenario. Like, you can think about 1,000 ways of an AI agent helping in such a thing. Professional services. I mean, I have my own agent. I've done small videos about it. You might have looked at it if you are a viewer of this channel. If you're not, try to subscribe. Maybe you'll enjoy future videos. But I have my own agent. I called it Habibi. And this agent actually helps me with everything I do for this channel. So it gives me scripts. It does research for me. It sometimes analyzes trends online for me. It tells me, hey, by the way, AI agent is a good thing to do a video on, or you maybe have to wait a little bit until the trend comes back. Today, people are not searching for AI agents. It actually helps me do thumbnails. I can send emails through it. It will do deep research for me. It does so many things for me that it's really an amazing assistant. And without it, honestly, I would either do way less videos or get exhausted. So today, having this agent, sometimes I look back and say, I don't know if I could have done this thing on top of being an executive in a Fortune 500 company without my agent Habibi. I mean, that's an amazing agent. I can do a deep dive on it in the future. Write me a comment if you want me to do that. But professional services will be a big thing. You will have your own future assistant doing many things for you that today maybe you don't feel that you need help with. So imagine you're a professional, you're running a business, or you have a great career, and you want an agent just to maybe schedule laundry for you, schedule doctor appointments, maybe schedule appointments even with the school of your children, or remind you with all of that. Imagine having that assistant at all times, helping you with these small things that usually linger in your brain and just fog your focus on important things like family and career. Logistics and supply chain. So that's my area of working. I believe, because this is 20 years of experience in this arena, I can tell you agents will change a lot in this area. And even thinking about it myself, I can't really fully fathom how it will do it, but it will do a lot there. We have lots of inefficiencies today because of the huge amounts of data exchange that happens between touch points when you have to run a supply chain. I just imagine an agent that is able to probably talk to other agents and have access to that huge amount of data will enable businesses and people like me running these businesses to coordinate supply chains in a manner or a way or a level that even today I can't imagine when this goes into realization. So inventories will reduce. That's amazing for businesses, by the way, financially. The turnaround time for requests or purchases will go down. So from a customer buying something and getting that thing on their doorstep, that will reduce. Even within the business, for me to turn a request into a purchase order and deliver the outcome or the product or a service out of that purchase order. It will reduce the cost of actually running that business. So doing that purchase order or that service for my internal or external customer will reduce all of that, and people will be much more efficient. So some people, and that's a different debate I will not go into, of job loss, but the way I think of it to be positive always is we as a business or me as a professional will be able to do 3 times more than what I do today with the same time. With the same level of effort, I will do much more, okay? Finance and so many other areas. I will not go into the details. You just can imagine and think about every area of your life today in 2 to 5 years will be affected and modified and changed and shaped by artificial intelligence in general and agents in particular. Now, I've been maybe late in doing this video, but I've been planning it for some time because I know 2025 will be really important for AI agents. And one of the reasons, and there is logic behind it, not just what people are saying, and I'll show you the logic in a second, but you have people, visionary people, who shaped the world of AI, like Sam Altman, saying we may see the first AI agents join the workforce and materially change the output of companies. So this is in 2025, he is saying. So that's one. And even Jensen or Hensen, I don't know how they pronounce his name, the CEO of NVIDIA, he's saying the age of agentic AI is here for every organization. And obviously you can go and read more about what these people are saying about agents, and they say a lot, and they're bullish on agents, and clearly they all believe that the tipping year or the tipping point for AI agents to explode and become a big thing is 2025, and we're just in the middle of this year. And clearly I can honestly see what they are saying or foreseeing as experts in that area is actually getting materialized as we speak. But why 2025? Why this didn't happen in 2023 or 2024? Well, there are actual reasons why these people, when they look at the development of the field of artificial intelligence, they believe that everything needed to really have scaling effect of those AI agents is all coming together in this year, in 2025. And if you are following the news, you will be able to just make sense of each point I will show here. So the first one is multimodal large language models and tools API. In both these areas, advancements are happening in speed of light. So in large language models, if you're following up, every 2-3 weeks, we have a new model and new advancements in these large language models. At least something new being dropped by one of the big players. And every now and then we get one surprise from the either unseen or undervalued players in the market of AI. So we keep getting these kind of gems from time to time. So developments are happening in this area every day. And it's just now at a level where you can do a lot with these large language models, tools and APIs as well. So today, everything is getting to be shaped, to be used at one point or another by a large language model, artificial intelligence type of system, or an AI agent. So all of the companies that deliver certain type of software as a service or a kind of online task-like functionality, all of them are reshaping their products to be able to connect seamlessly to AI systems or AI agents. So today we are at a point where you can actually enable an AI agent with so many things that are now available for it. And this is evolving as we speak. More and more are joining that kind of drive to adapt to the new world AI type of frameworks or protocols that are clearly the only way forward for all of these providers to survive into the future. So it's about survival, not even a luxury for them to decide to maybe get a little bit more business if they do these things. So here again, this takes me to the second point. The frameworks are evolving. We have so many frameworks for artificial intelligence and AI agents that enable this technology. So this is the glue that puts all of these things together. So the protocols will help the concept of an AI agent actually as a software to link to tools, memory, code interpretation, yada yada, and all of these other things. This is the glue, and those frameworks are developing heavily in 2025. Maybe if we went back to June or May of last year, maybe it wasn't at that level. We had LangChain, we had some of the well-known ones. It wasn't as developed as we have today. It wasn't as busy in terms of frameworks as we have today. Today, you have so many options and so many frameworks that this is not a problem anymore. And some of them, the SDKs by OpenAI and Google, they came in 2025. So it should tell you something why 2025 is believed to be the year of agents. And then there's an open source boom. Now, open source AI models are actually catching up to closed source ones. So in no time, this will open new doors because so many parties or individuals who want autonomy when it comes to their artificial intelligence business that they want to run, they can actually leverage more open source kind of models that are getting better and better, and they will catch up eventually with the closed source ones. So this will open a whole new potential for AI agents, especially in the enterprise and business world, who care a lot about privacy and having those AI models or AI agents contained within their own environment. And this is something that people need time to adapt to. So this is something that is improving as we speak. On top of, obviously, which I didn't write here, cybersecurity is improving. Even the way that you can engage with the large language model using secure sources without risking the integrity of those sources. This is something even OpenAI is doing today to get that kind of enterprise access or business access. And then the enterprise shift. So all of the companies now are either running pilots or going full-fledged in AI-based systems. All of them want that efficiency. All of them do not want to be left behind. So they're doing that for gaining efficiency or not losing their spot in competition, because they know if their competitor becomes much more efficient, they have no chance. And this is something that's moving so fast that if you're behind, you're really behind, not like any other technology we've got. And last but not least, convergence. So basically, there's so many things that are coming together today that make AI agents possible. From the large language models, so generative AI itself, and robotic process automation, which was there for years, but it became 10 times, 100 times more powerful when they added the AI layer to these processes. And then you have the automation, which was in the past simply if this then that type of system. Today with AI agent, this is exploding. Like, this is becoming something totally different. The word automation is having a different punch with AI enabling it today. So all of these items, all of these systems coming together are creating the perfect storm for 2025 to be the year of agents. Now, where is this going in up to 2023? Okay, so again, all of this is open for speculation or interpretation based on what you read and what you learn. So do your own research. You just listen to what experts are saying and expecting, and then you have to make your own judgment. But I think what some of the stuff here makes really good sense if you think about it and if you see how things are moving in the tech world, in the business world, all across. Okay, so agents will tackle complex long-term projects with near human skill. That's coming, I think. Today, the problem with agents, if I run an agent for a task, it can run maybe for a minute or two, and then it will stop. So that's kind of the breadth of its ability to run as an AI agent. In the future, an agent can run for days, and it doesn't need to be re-triggered or reactivated to keep running. It actually will run for days doing analysis, taking action, waiting for responses maybe for humans or other systems, and doing that in real time for a much longer period than it can do today. And that will be a big differentiation of how we think about AI agents compared to today and in the future. And this is what we mentioned a bit back. So digital and physical fusion, robots, vehicles, smart homes, all run by agents. So you will hear a lot about something called the world model. So some people, some experts argue that the future is not even large language models in the way that we see them, or mega language models in the way we see them. Those will be what they call world model, where models, AI, is able to comprehend the physical world in a way similar to humans. Today, it's living in that digital bubble, an AI agent. So it's not able to learn. These models are not able to learn, not to mention that their efficiency in learning is way less than humans' ability to learn from the same amount of data. So in the future, they look to create something or things called these world models, where you have highly efficient models learning and absorbing the physical world in through video, audio, or any other modality to learn as closely as how humans learn experiencing the world around them. So that sounds like sci-fi movies. I think it's coming. It might not happen by 2030. It will happen in the future eventually if this keeps running in the speed it's running. It doesn't necessarily have to be bad. It could be something good. Multi-agent, so Internet of Agent. So we had before things like Internet of Things. Now we have Internet of Agents. So this is a big debate. This is a big conversation. You have to do more there. Some people, like the CEO of Microsoft, made a claim that even the application layer as we know it, SaaS as we know it, will die. Imagine you have an agent doing everything for you. Today, when you go to a website to do something, you're looking either for a service or a piece of information, right? So if an agent can do all of that for you, in theory, you do not need to go and visit that website. So agents might replace the typical way how we interact or understand the internet. That's one area where we may go. So you might interact with the web differently in the future than you are doing today. Screen will be there, I think, but it might be more of a screen talking to an agent rather than you going to a bunch of websites. So in the future, it is not out of expectation to have something like having your personal tutor, your chief financial officer in your business, your health coach, your personal coach, whatever, to be basically an artificial intelligence agent. These things will have agents all over them. Or you're going to have a human one actually 10 times more capable than any type of position of these, like CFO, for example, that you know today, enabled by agents. So let's assume that the CFO of Microsoft is the top CFO in the world. Probably the next CFO in a small business, maybe in a small country, probably will be as capable as Microsoft's CFO today, just being enabled by AI agents, giving him the same abilities or access that Microsoft CEO has today, if that makes sense. And last but not least, I put this while being hesitant. I keep hearing this online on the internet, and people say we're going to go to a level where we have, and we can see it today, by the way, where you have AI that is self-improving or AI agents that are self-improving. So an agent that builds better agents. And that's highly possible today. We see systems that do that, by the way. We see the symptoms of it. So it will happen in the future. But pushing the frontier towards AGI, I'm very skeptical about the word AGI. I know it's a big word in artificial intelligence. Till now, I don't have a clear definition for it. And because I am not able to define it, I don't know how people are defining it, or I don't understand, I don't get it myself. So I'm always careful to put it and use it in my content. But basically, this is what people are saying. One of the potential is that we go into a mode where AI is self-improving, agents are self-improving, they build better agents, and this will get us to AGI and whatever that is. For the business worlds, pilots are now running as we speak. Some companies are actually going full-fledged and investing in AI systems. There are AI-ready systems out there, maybe in testing, but corporates are taking it more and more seriously every day. You're going to have at some point in the next 2 years, maybe in smaller businesses, an AI-wide, something like a chief operating officer. And that's an agent that has access to all of the data points of the company, has access to all of the data lakes of that company, all of the tools and systems that run in that company, all of the dashboard and intelligence in that company, and it will be able to run operations or support a human running the operations of that company in a way much more efficient than any human can do, just because it's able to see and analyze huge amounts of data, not humanly possible. I think that will happen really soon, at least for smaller companies, and we might be surprised with mega corporates doing or pushing something like that, especially corporates like Microsoft, Google, and OpenAI. They might just do it to prove a point. So we're going to have agent ops, and basically this is agent operations. And these are teams that will be run either fully by agents. So you have, let's say, a fully agentic marketing team. That could be a potential with a human marketing head of that organization. And the human's role is to manage those agents and orchestrate them. Or you can, for what I expect to be more probable, is having actually hybrid teams. So you have a team that has agents and humans working within the same team. So you might have a colleague in the future that's a virtual AI agent that's helping you with things today humans are doing for you, and that not necessarily is a bad thing. We're gonna have, this is a kind of a debatable area. It's a thing where it gets emotions high, I would say, at this phase we're in, because things are not clear. There's high emotions, and that's understandable. People are either afraid or excited or in the middle of what is coming with artificial intelligence. But we're going to see people compete to be early adopters out of fear or out of greed. Greed, not in a bad sense, in the sense of they want to become more efficient. We're going to see risks being taken. We're going to see probably, honestly, and sorry for the word here, we're going to see stupid actions taken by certain businesses or corporates. It's going to be a journey to really watch and see how it rolls out or plays out. That could happen in the next 1 to 2 years, but also it could take much more longer in terms of time. I see companies that are approaching this really smart, not leaving things behind. So they're not slagging behind and not touching AI, but they're doing it securely and safely. They're skeptical of what the technology can do. I'm skeptical myself. How far you can claim today AI can do for a corporate, for a business. Today, I can argue with anyone that it's not too much. It's people who make these big claims that today it can replace humans is a bunch of BS, in my opinion. It can't solve complex problems. You need humans. Humans are still the number one player for efficient organizations today. Maybe you can help them by giving them more AI tools, and that's it. That might take way long to change, by the way. So that's a totally different debate. If you want me to I created one episode on the past on careers in AI. But if you want me to dig deeper into this area, please write me a comment in the comment section. And we're going to have lots of challenges. So this is part of what I was hinting to. You're going to maybe today not every country, not every region is taking regulation seriously. Something will happen that will drive people to take this serious. I nearly can guarantee that. Privacy will be a big issue, probably. Cybersecurity. These AI models are not only available for the good people, they are also available for bad players or bad actors who might do something totally different that we don't foresee today, just to push their goals, which are usually bad goals, in terms of attacks or stealing assets of different companies, or maybe doing much smarter, much better malware or spyware. I don't want to go there, but privacy and security will become really important areas in technology in general, and definitely in artificial intelligence. So we can be excited, but also we should be careful, because I think challenges are way ahead of us in the business world. But why now? Why I brought this course or mini course now, even if it takes an hour, it's a mini course, because I think you should act now. You do not need to panic. The whole intention of this is actually to get you excited to study the area of AI agents. Also, we need to realize that agents are the next competitive frontier. This is what will differentiate businesses and even individuals. And this is what will get you, honestly, one of the areas that will get you into, or maybe keep you in the future into the top 1% in artificial intelligence, if you want to be in that layer of people that I think will secure your career or your business, your small business or large business in the future. And, this is one of the reasons I created recently my school community, because I want to build that community that gets its value not from me. So it's not me just telling people, or what to learn. Actually, I want people that share and exchange information about artificial intelligence, agents, whatever. Maybe collaborate with each other. Maybe build systems and businesses with each other. And I want to create that ecosystem, that community, for us to be in that 1%. So you can join that community if this is something you want. Your being active in that community is more important than the whole thing. Everything I put in there is good. It doesn't matter if you don't ask questions. All questions are good questions, because this is fast moving area and everyone can learn from either a statement, piece of information, or even a question. And you need to start to playing with it. And this is where I want people to do always in my community. I push people. You don't need to be technical, by the way. Just knowing about these things, having a good idea about them, how they run, why you need them, what you can do with them, will put you in that 1%. But you just make your knowledge way better, I'm convinced, if you play around and build something simple. It will just get you to learn about the concept 100 times better than anything anyone can give you. And this is what I say here about early experimentation and what you have to do with amplify and automate. Basically, try to have one area in your day life or day job that you want to, doesn't add value, takes lots of time, you want to get rid of, and automate it. I do that every day, by the way. I have so many systems running, enabling me to do this video with a full-time crazy job. And then you need, as an individual and as a business owner or an executive like myself in a corporate, you need to start thinking at least, or discussing with your teams, the human plus AI culture. It will happen. Like, I don't know when, but it will happen. You're going to have AI agents with you in your team at some point in the future. That could be next year, that could be in 5 years. I don't know. But that culture is coming. And part of it is education. This is what I'm trying to do here. If people understand it, they don't fear it. And then getting people actually to experience it, to get used to it. So that's coming. That's something to start thinking of it. Do not think about this in good or bad. Honestly, no one knows. I mean, I want to tell you everything will be positive from AI and AI agents, but I don't know for a fact. I am more on the positive side. I'm way more on the positive side. But what I can guarantee is that you need to act. You're helping yourself, your business, your community if you start acting today. And acting doesn't necessarily to be something complex or huge. It can be just by learning and sharing and encouraging people around you to learn. So that's how you can act today. And my final take here, and this is, I wanted to end with this, at least this slide deck. So many claims are being made online. You will hear people saying that AI will replace all employees. AI will do this or that. If you do your own learning, if you play with it on your own and you have a critical mind, you know most of that is BS, including the claim that the CEO of Anthropic made that the future white-collar bloodbath is coming. He said it will not happen overnight, but it's coming. I think it's BS. I respect someone like him. He's a genius. He knows about AI 1,000 times more than me. But I have 20 years of experience in corporates, and I know AI. I can tell you, corporates today, human systems, we build systems that are called either corporates or societies. Our systems as humans are so complex that I guarantee you AI can do a lot. AI will shape them hugely. But today, with the large language model technology that we have, with AI technology that we have, it is still in many cases too complex for AI to replace. AI can complement today, cannot replace. I guarantee you that. I always say, in my opinion, this is my personal opinion, AI is good in the first 10 to 20% and the last 10 to 20%. Ideations, creating kind of prototypes, helping you simulate things, that's really good. In the middle, the complex part, humans have to roll up their sleeves, dig into things. Maybe I can still help them during that phase. They have to deliver on complex projects, regardless of what type of project, which arena or which industry we're talking about. And AI is really good in putting things together. So you did the hard work, it can put things for you together in a way that either makes it way easier to explain to others or way easier for you even to digest if you have a huge amount of information and data. The only thing I would say here, understand it, and I believe most people will be, like me, much more excited and positive about AI than skeptical and scared. Now, there are so many ways to build AI agents today. So what I will do is I will demo just quickly how to build an agent on N8N. So you can see, if you've never seen before an AI agent, how it looks, how it acts. This will give you a really good kind of sense of an AI agent. But the internet, YouTube, online is filled with so many people who will walk you step by step to building an agent on something like N8N. If you don't want, by the way, to touch even no-code tools, you want the agent to be built for you through a large language model, actually you can go to something like Zapier. Zapier is like probably my favorite platform of all time when it comes to automation and AI. So you can go to Zapier and you can actually chat with the system to build you an agent. And that agent can use 30,000 plus apps on Zapier to send emails, do whatever you want, okay? Or you can, even if you want to really learn, go to Replit, which has an AI agent that can actually code for you. And you go to that agent and actually ask the agent to build an agent for you. You can't imagine how easy it can be doing it on Replit. Start with something simple, have an agent that simply exchanges information with you. Later on, add tools, add data sources, work your way up You'll make lots of mistakes. You will pull your hair 1,000 times, but I guarantee you it will be fun and you'll learn a lot. So let me spend minutes. I will not go into details. This is not the intention of actually building an agent, just to give you that sense. I'll show you the interface on Zapier. I will not do the build on Zapier, just for you also to do the sense. If you want to go to Zapier and play with it, it's very easy. It's just chatting. So you have demos online if you want to see that. So let's go and maybe do something a little bit more fun than me talking. Okay, so this is N8N. Again, beyond the scope of this video, I will not explain about the platform. It's amazing for automation, agent building, AI in general. You can find maybe a million videos on YouTube giving lessons and details on how to build things here. But let's start with an agent. I want an agent. And here I'm getting, this is like a block. So you can see this is the agent block, and it already comes with a trigger. This is a trigger, which is basically a chat exchange. This is how the human will talk to the agent. Each block on the back end of it actually represents a huge amount of code. So this is why N8N or these no code or low code platforms are amazing. You don't need to code, you just need to play with kind of flows and blocks like this. Now we need a chat model. So this is the brain, if you remember. We need to give it the brain. So I can click here and you have all of the sources or basically providers of artificial intelligence available. Let's go to OpenAI chat model, and here it has GPT-4o Mini already selected. I authenticated my account with an API key. Be very careful with your keys. So now we have a brain, memory. Now I can either give it simple memory that you can see here, and this is memory on the same instance where I'm running in N8N, so this is local memory, or you can go and do a vector store type of memory, where this is kind of a more complex, comprehensive, long-term, maybe more efficient memory storage option. And there's so many ways how to do it. Again, that's something that you can do or research on your own. For my use cases, by the way, because usually these are personal, not complex or super complex, I use the simple memory. It works out enough. And then you can give it access to a tool. So here, if you click on this, actually you have so many options of tools that you can use, from Airtable to other actual applications that are building those tools for agentic systems. You can do it, but let me do something that I use many times. Let's say just to connect it to the agent and play with it. So we have Outlook, and here we can add an Outlook tool. And for me, let's make it an operation is to send, and we'll make the agent. So here, once I select this item here or this icon here, actually I'm telling the agent, you decide what is the content. So I want it to decide who to send this to, what's the subject, and even the message. And I have my Outlook account authenticated, so that's already done. And now I can simply actually test this, and I can open the chat and I can start talking to the agent. The agent is there. It has a memory, it has a brain, it has a tool. So let me actually increase this so you can see it clearly. Let's say hi, and you can see the visual here. It's nice. So you can see all the blocks that are running, and I have a response. The output is, hello, how can I assist you today? So I will ask it a generic question now, something that is probably it can answer based on large language model training based on OpenAI. So let's say I'm going to send it something like, tell me a little about Dubai. So I will send it that, and you can see again, the system is running. The agent is using the model now. It might touch the memory again, or okay, so tools is not needed, but I have a response. So it just told me something around Dubai, some information about the attraction, culture. So, and you can see it here as well. Okay, now let's test the tool. So I will ask it actually to send this to me in an email. So I'm asking it just to send the outcome. I'm not defining what the outcome is. Here, the agent will reason. It will just look at the history of what we talked about, and probably it will reason that, yeah, when Samer is saying, or when the user is asking me for the outcome, probably he's asking about the question about Dubai. And I'm just telling it, send it to this email address. And because it's getting that information, it can actually pick up the email address and use it in sending the email and using the tool. And I'll hit send. And now here you're going to find that it's using the tool, and it will send an email to me that I will receive in my inbox. And it used the email here. Maybe you've seen that, and you've seen it use the tool, and I get a success. This is a tick. Let me quickly go to my email inbox. And if you can see, I have the email, and this is the Dubai summary sent to me by the agent. Took action for me. I didn't really specify step by step for it what to do. I just said, send the outcome to this email. it reasoned and it did it. So it took action for me. So this just should give you a hint of really how efficient using AI agent can make things. Now, the last quick demo I will show you, if you go to Zapier agents, so you can see here, this is agents, this is beta. I'm subscribed to their automation platform. I pay for it. I use these automations every day. Those are robust, similar to N8N, but Zapier for me is kind of a concrete solution. It's been there for years. Everything really super important I run there, everything I experiment with, and I'm doing more and more on N8N, by the way. But this is where core things I do. But for agents, I'm not subscribing agents. Honestly, everything for agents I do on N8N. For me, I have the technical knowledge to build there. But here, I think this is where this opens the doors for AI agent building for everyone. Like anyone watching this, even if today was the first time you heard the term AI agents, you can go to Zapier and you can build an agent. I guarantee you that. And the way you do that, and by the way, you get some free credit when you have an account. You go and create a new pod, you name it. So let's call it AI Agent 101. You create that pod, and when you go into that pod, you can add an agent in that pod. You can add multiple agents. So a pod is where you can create a system of agents that work with each other. So we'll hit add either an existing agent or a new agent. We'll hit a new agent. And here there are templates, or you can actually prompt your way into that agent. See here, they have an example. Every morning at 8 a.m., take a look at my tasks in Asana, find all overdue tasks that have dependencies, and send a Slack message to the product team with a list of the overdue tasks, who they're assigned to, and the dependencies. Include a link to the tasks in the message. So imagine, like you can literally ask it what you have in your mind, what's your problem, what's the solution you want to have for that problem, and just put it in there. Zapier will build the agent for you, and it will run forever. Like it will keep running as you want it. And you can come back here and you can actually improve the agent, modify it, add things to it, and even add more agents to help that agent, if that makes sense, within that pod. Just to show you how it works, I will create a very simple agent that I will show you now how it will be built and how it will look. So here the prompt is, build me an agent that checks AI news every day at 8 a.m. Dubai time and send me an email with all updates, and maybe add a record with updates to my Notion database. 2.5 lines to build this agent. And we hit create agent, and we can just kick back and look at Zapier doing the magic as it builds the agent for you. Now it will ask probably for further information here. So you can see it is just selecting my account. So here I can go and select just make sure this is the right account it should connect to. For my Google account, I can select my email as well. So now I can hit create, and it will start building that agent for me. And when that agent is ready, I can actually test it and deploy it. So here I'll just fix the trigger just to make sure everything is correct. So let me select the time. I already told it 8 a.m. So I can modify this based on time zone later on, but I'll just save it now. And then I can just test it. I will not test it because I don't want to send an email or create something on my Notion, but you can go in and actually fine tune the agent to your needs. You can go in here and actually select the database. What database I want exactly the agent to add the item to. I can test the agent and deploy the agent. It will work automatically. It took me literally in front of you 10 seconds to do it. You can do it today with Zapier. This is one of the systems out there. So if you watch the whole thing, if you bared with me looking at my face all the time, maybe it's small in the corner, but I know that could be too much for a longer period of time. You now understand the concept of AI agent. You know why they matter, why they're important, why everyone's talking about them, why everyone's talking about them now in 2025, what to do with them individually and the business world, how you can look into the future and make your mind of where this is going and how to prepare for it. And even maybe you have some ideas. If you never started with AI agents, you want to play with N8N or Zapier and build something for your own. So I hope all of that delivered value. Remember, this area is changing every day. It's dynamic. It's interesting. You have to keep reading about it. But with this course, I think you have the 90% that most people need to have to understand AI agents. And if you want to even read more, you can go to my school community for this episode, download the manual that I'm giving out, which have much more detail than anything I mentioned here today. Download the slide deck. If you want to use it with others, feel free to do that. But more importantly for me, if you're so interested to do these things, to take action and get the files, it tells me that you're interested in AI and AI agents. I want you in my community, but I want you to contribute, to learn, to ask questions, to give your opinion maybe, to challenge what people like me are saying, because sometimes we have our heads so much into AI that we don't remember that from time to time we need to take it out and just look at the world, the real world around us. So you might be that person in the community reminding everyone to do that from time to time. So I really hope you got value out of this video. You enjoyed it. If you did so, if I did a good job, like my video, share it with others, leave a comment. That's really important for the engagement, for helping my channel. And if you didn't subscribe to my channel before, you watch my videos but you're not a subscriber, consider hitting that subscribe button. And with this, thank you very much and goodbye.
Subscribe to Daddy's channel. Give me the mic.